Ladies and gentlemen, season finale of the No ID podcast. I have a wonderful, wonderful brother here, real estate agent, entrepreneur, father, um, fashionable. We got Mr. Denzel Williams. Say something to the people, brother.
Thank you, Rome, for having me on the No ID podcast. This is your boy, Denzel, aka Homes with D. Williams. Appreciate you having me on the show, man.
Appreciate you coming, brother. Uh,
Most deaf.
I've known Denzel for a couple of years. We met working at a AT&T store, um, military highway, the trenches. Um, both of them matured and went on and started doing their own thing. So, for those that don't know, Denzel is a real estate agent, and we're actually gonna dig into something that I think is very important. Outside of entrepreneur, well, it's gonna be entrepreneurship, but it's also black ownership. So, Denzel, tell me about Homes with D. Williams. What is Homes with D. Williams?
Hey, man. So Homes with D. Williams. I started this business a couple months ago, um, right at the beginning of this whole pandemic. Um, but I'm like you said, I'm a realtor. I am with B. Keller Williams. It'll be a year with Keller Williams, uh, 1st of August. Wow, can't believe it. But yeah, man, Homes with D. Williams. I'm out here, educating the people on ownership, man. Like you say, I think it's definitely a big topic to discuss. It's a passion of mine, and I'm just here to serve the people.
That's it, a man of the people, real estate agent of the people. I respect that. So I'm just gonna ask a couple of questions, Denzel, man. So for those that's out there looking at home, of course you're gonna have to hit this man up, okay? Um,
Absolutely.
Reason being is, in the years that I've known him, and I can vouch for him personally and professionally, man has never stirred anybody wrong. Man knows nothing but the truth, and he's always gonna look out for your best interest. So, what advice do you have to somebody? I'm gonna just say 23, 22, mid 20s. Um, they looking to rent and they looking to buy. What advice? What would your opposition be on that?
So when it comes to why purchase or rent, it boils down to that person's situation. I feel like if someone is in a particular area and they can foresee being in the area 12 months or more, I would really, just probe and ask some, you know, questions to figure out, where they stand currently, financially, career wise, and we'll just, create a plan from there. So I guess mid 20s, I think the big key is research. Um, get out there and research home ownership, the pros and the cons. Uh, Research, the renting side of things, the pros and the cons of renting. I mean, we all we work for a living. We collect the paychecks, and it's our job to manage our funds properly. And I just feel in certain cases, young people are so quick to leave their parents' home, and the first thing they want to do is they want to go buy a car or they want to go and get their own apartment. And I feel like, research should be the first thing to see what fits that person's um, their criteria at the moment.
That's true. And one of the most important things that anybody has to realize is two things actually, and it's your credit and your savings. Credit can get you a long way with anything that,
Absolutely.
and so can savings because you always want to have a safety net. What advice would you have if you know, like I'm starting out, I don't have any credit, I'm just building credit per se, and then I'm looking at, like I said, I'm looking at moving out of my parents' house, moving out of my current situation.
So the first thing I'm gonna say is have you some money set to the side, um, and I like to be specific. So $1,000 should be your first goal. Get you $1,000, put it in a savings account. Don't touch it. Just let it sit there. That's a safety net. Secondly, I would say, if you're in the building credit stages, go out there and get you a secured credit card. Something with a small balance. I'll say for me, I started out with $300. I got that card and I would, get gas, or I would buy something small from the grocery store just to start building credit. That way, you know, I don't have to worry about maxing it out. I would go $2 here, $15 there, and pay it off. And you do that for about 6 months, and whoever you got this credit card with, they would then turn it over into a unsecured credit card, and they'll give you whatever limit they feel is applicable for you at the time, and then you get your 300. The top two things for me, man: get your savings account as a safety net, and when building credit, get your secured card, something that won't get you in trouble. Got to be responsible.
So, I at day and working as in finances, right? So when it comes to establishing credit, now this is establishing. This isn't rebuilding. This is establishing. Okay. One, always get a credit card with your financial institution, because if you don't, you end up in some kind of high ridiculous interest rate. Okay. And when it comes to credit cards, it doesn't matter the limit that you have up there. It matters what you can pay back, so your balance. So where I work at, the minimum balance for a secure credit card, or any credit card, is $500. When you do your credit cards, I always tell people don't exceed any more than 30%.
500? Jeez.
$500, yeah.
Sheesh. All right.
500.
I'm glad I got in when I got in, man.
500, man. 500. That's the bare minimum. And you rock with that credit card, whether it's secured or unsecured. And because you go to these other places that's not federally insured, or what's the Macy's? I see Macy's, Dillard's, TJ Maxx. Swipe your card, get 10% off of these pants. Like, nah, because they actually gonna make more back on the back end of interest. If you don't pay it before that due date, they're gonna tear you up on that interest. And those interest rates I've seen as high as 32% on a credit card. So imagine, you know, swiping a card for $40, and then you get a statement, 32% is adding on to that. You just get tore up in the long run, especially if you keep a balance. And then savings, man, you never know what's gonna happen, because you gotta play a lot of factors into it when it comes to savings. And if it's a
Yeah,
thousand
man.
dollars put into a high interest bearing savings account, that's actually gonna make you a little bit of money, and then reinvest that interest that you made into something else. Should always be that way. So it should always be that way. It should definitely be that way, especially in the Black community, because I know this finance talk is something that we really don't have, or is proposed to have.
We
So
don't, and that's something that I hope gets better in the future. It's definitely something that I plan to instill in my kids, man. Is financial literacy, because it'll get you a long way.
it will be, and so is generational wealth. What you doing right
Absolutely, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I'm hoping to have that first investment property by the end of 2020.
now? You will, bro. You will. You setting the foundation for it, and I respect it. And you're an entrepreneur, so when when you're on boss, they say you can call the shot what you do, but you know, you're in the grind right now. So I can dig it, man. I really can. So let's say my situation's pretty good, man, and I'm gonna just say I got 10,000, okay, $10,000, and then I'm coming to you and I'm trying to figure out, hey, I'm getting ready to, I don't plan to be where I'm at in 3 years. I don't plan to be living in the same city, same state. Plan on moving. I'm looking at renting, but I want to buy. What would your
Where my talk track go from there, man? I would probably try to figure out where you're going in 3 years. You know, you're traveling out of state. Is it job related? Are you military? I just want to figure out, you said 3 years. Why is that number so specific? And then I'm gonna ask you, what thoughts do you have about renting? Like what's driving you to want to rent? Is it just because you're moving, or you want something that's low maintenance? You want something that you think is low entry cost. Now, I'm gonna just probe a little bit, just to see where your head's at. And after that, I'm gonna just lay it out to you. I'm gonna just put it all out there on the table and walk you through what the home buying process looks like. 10 grand is great to have as a down payment, but my job is to make sure that you get what is worth 10 grand. You know, you may not have to come out of pocket anything, so that's what I would walk you down that path. I would probably put you in front of one of my preferred lenders just to have a conversation. You know, I always got people on my team that, are smarter than me. That way, I'm always looking out for whoever I'm dealing with their best interest. Because I don't know everything, but you surround yourself with like-minded people and people that know more than you, and that's how you win in this world.
That's true. That's true. Man, I dig it. I learned a lot. From your Instagram post, just you in general, and then seeing you and Glenn Starks and Ryan Turner jumping into the investment thing and the real estates, and y'all all building that generational wealth as young black men. So I dig it.
Absolutely, man. Business is starting to take off. Business is definitely starting to take off. You mentioned, social media. You can find me on Instagram at Homes with D Williams. You can find me on Facebook at Homes with D Williams. I've got a website as well. We'll link that in the description when this video comes out. But yeah, man, anyone thinking about, taking the next step, whether it's renting or, the home buying process, feel free to reach out, man. We can hop on Zoom, we can meet in my office, we can just talk over the phone. And I really just, like having conversation with people and see where they want to go in life, what their goals and aspirations are, and show them the best way possible to get there. I enjoy people. I don't do this for the money. I just want to see people, and I want to see our people, build that generational wealth.
It's true, because the jewelry, the clothes, the cars, there's that something that's
Man, that stuff is here today and gone tomorrow.
you got houses still in Virginia that's built in 1928 before we were born, early 1900s, and they're still in the market selling and being produced.
Heck yeah. For way much more than the original owners purchased it. It don't do nothing but just give value.
My grandparents bought their house years ago when they first bought it, early 60s. I think they paid $5,000 for it. 5,000, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And that same house right now is probably well over a couple $100,000.
It's a 100. Yeah. Think about that. $5,000. Now, of course, you got inflation and cost of living and stuff, but think about that. $5,000. $5,000 is what some people spend on an average of rent, depending where they live at.
Don't even get me started on that, bro. Don't get me started. It's like you go out here and you get a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment at, let's say, $1,100. You take that $1,100 over 12 months. That's $13,200 a year. You do that over 30 years, which is what most people do when they go out and they get a mortgage. That's $396,000. That's a nice first time home right there. 396,000. So that's why I say, man, we got to educate ourselves before we just go out here and grab the first thing smoking.
Facts. And get your credit right. Better the credit, the more buying power you got on anything.
Absolutely, man. I got people on my team in the credit repair, so don't feel like, oh, I got bad credit, I won't be able to do anything. Nah, slick. I got people on the squad that'll get you right.
Facts. That's facts. This man has a team built around D. Williams. So that's dope. I don't know, man. I'd say it all the time though. Buying a home in entrepreneurship, that's your key. You own some land, whether it's buying a home or you buying a piece of land or you looking to get a commercial real estate or you buy a build like a I was talking to this one guy. I went to work there. I was talking to this one guy, right? But he had to be probably like a couple of years older than me. White cat. And I was talking to him. He was like, "Yeah, I just bought my 75th rental property."
Wow.
And I was like, looking myself now. He lying. That's the first.
Like, what have I been doing?
Yeah, I just bought my 75th rental property. I'm like, hold on, time out. 75th? He got a house that was inherited into him. He didn't have, it was more like 5. Report. He had his first property that was inherited. He took the equity out of that and bought another home.
Say that again, man.
He took the equity.
The house was inherited to him. He took the equity out and bought another crib. Like, he didn't use his own money. He used the value of the property to go buy something else. Like, that's big. And what I'm seeing is popular right now is duplexes. People going out and buying a duplex and they'll fix it up, minor cosmetics or whatnot. They'll get a renter in one space. The purchaser will live in the other space and collect the rent to pay the mortgage. And then they'll turn around and do the same thing, take the equity out of it and buy another one. Like, there's ways to go out here and get it. We just got to educate ourselves and put ourselves in positions and surround ourselves around other people that are doing the same thing that we are wanting and trying to do. Ain't nobody just gonna walk up and give it to you all the time. You got to go out there and get it if it's what you truly want.
You gotta work for it. You gotta do that grind.
Absolutely.
It's like a process over progress. It's like a thing where I say it all the time too. I say 2 things all the time. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Like, I've been in corporate America going on 6 years, and it's like, it was a cakewalk. I was like, I'm making this good money. I'm staying out of hot water, and I'm comfortable. But as soon as I was like, okay, I'm ready for a change, I want to do things on my own. I want to do things my way. Going out and, getting my license, I'm like, I'm spending all this money up front to get my license, and I don't know a hell of a bean about the real estate world, but I just knew it's what I wanted to do. And, the first couple of months, man, it was like, yo, this is scary or whatnot. But the more you research, the more you learn, and the more you talk to other people, you start to get the hang of things, and it's like a light switch. You just flick the switch and the light bulb goes off, and you're like, oh man, things are really starting to happen. Things are really starting to move, and it only gets better with time. So, yeah, man, that's definitely key. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable sometimes to get to where you want to get to.
Just
It's not always easy. It's not always a get rich quick scheme. If that was the case, everybody would be rich. You got to put some work in the beginning, and eventually your time will come.
that's facts. You know, everybody wants to get rich quick, but nobody wants to take the time and learn their mistakes by trying to make it to whatever. Yeah, you did. Like, now, it's a difference between rich and wealthy, right? Chocolate is rich. You're rich in chocolate. But wealth is something that lasts and continues to grow. Like, it's wealthy people and it's rich people. You know, you may land, that's wealth. Music, that's wealth. Sneakers, clothes, these fancy cars, that's being rich. Because that's the stuff that's not being advertised on television by those companies. That's just rich stuff. That's, you want to be wealthy with something that's be able to pass off. And like real estate is just like me doing a comedy show or a podcast. You know, I gotta warm up the crowd. I gotta fill out everything. So that's actually me looking for where I want to live at, right? And I'm gonna be living in this house for 15 or 30 years, depending on whatever I do. Same with me performing my set, whether it's for 5, 10, 15, or even 30 minutes to an hour. And I gotta build up my crowd, and then my crowd is my neighbors. So I gotta check all my surroundings when I do that. And I gotta continue to be better with it. Because that house, maybe I might not stay in the house for 2 or 3 years. Maybe I stay in the house for 5, and then I eventually rent it out, find something else. Because nobody says you gotta be in the house for a long time, but the house should be making money.
Nah, man. They say, your first home, on average, you stay in there for about 5 years before you're looking for something else. And so don't think just because you got a house, you got to live in it forever.
Thanks.
You don't. You get in it, you get a good deal or whatnot. You make some bread on the back end.
That's true. That is true. So Denzel, I'm gonna ask you this question: Top 5
What's
comedians
up?
dead or alive with a starting 6 million.
Top 5 comedians dead or alive. All right, let's go with any particular order.
In particular order.
All right, let's go with Mike Epps. Let's go with Kevin Hart. Let's go with Bernie Mac. I'm going to take Dave Chappelle. I'm going to take Richard Pryor. And then my 6th man.
Oh, Jerome Davis. That's no problem. Thank you.
Jerome Davis. Yes. Jerome Davis, my 6th man. Shout out to you, boy. Shout out to you, boy. You doing big things, brother.
Me too, man. My start changes all the time. It's gonna keep changing. All right. Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor, Lavelle Crawford, Ali Sadiq, Jerry Seinfeld. 6 men. It's never gonna really change. It's Nick Cannon. I don't care what nobody.
Yo, Jerry Seinfeld, his stand-up on Netflix, was hilarious to me. It was hilarious. Like, I ain't seen that guy in a minute. And you think about the Seinfeld, the little show he had or whatever, but he popped up on my Netflix page one day, and I literally clicked on watch and was entertained throughout the entire thing. And the dude was like 60. Like, it was crazy.
Do you know Seinfeld is a comedian? He has mastered this. He can make a joke about nothing, and can.
Oh yeah.
It's just genius.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'd be like, yo, where did this come from?
Like, why
Where
you
did it come from, man?
still say it's on slick? Like, why do people have GPSs but still race the GPS to get there on time when they know how to get there? Like, he'll say something.
I ain't gonna lie. I'll be trying to raise the GPS myself. I know the GPS says 15 minutes, but let me see if I can squeeze 2 minutes out of it.
Squeeze 2 minutes. Then the GPS is like telling you, hey, you be like, oh, I'm supposed to be there at 8:15. You might, I'm squeeze 2 minutes. Okay, I'm trying to be there 8:13. The GPS says 8:13. I ain't gonna try.
Oh man.
And you know what?
Yeah, it's funny.
The crazy thing about it is, like with the I'm glad we're on this GPS. I don't know if anybody does. I know we're getting off subject, but it's cool. The thing about the GPS, I don't know if anybody's ever done this where they've been running late for work and they put their GPS on, thinking the GPS gonna get them there quicker, but the GPS ain't.
Man, look, I throw my GPS on, make sure there ain't no traffic, bro. Like, get me through.
If I gotta be to work late, I know ain't no traffic, and I sleep in late. Like I'm supposed to be working 8:45. Sometimes they put me on a schedule. I come in 11:45. I know ain't no traffic on the interstate around that time, but I'm still putting my GPS on because I done left the house at 8:20, knowing it's
Absolutely
30 minutes to get to work, and I'm racing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh man, that's the life though. Anything you want to say to the people, bro, before we sign off, man? Like any advice?
Hey, continue to stream my man Jerome Davis's No ID podcast. It's on all streaming platforms. They're doing big things, man. And I'd also say anybody listening, you got any questions or whatever, please feel free to reach out. Again, like I said, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. It's at Homes with D Williams. You can email me at homeswithdwilliams@gmail.com. And I'm gonna link my website in the description once this is put out there on the different platforms. But don't hesitate. Don't feel ashamed. I'm regular people. I can have a conversation with anybody about anything. Just hit me up because I'm here for the people. And yeah, it's about ownership, baby.
Yes, sir. So you can follow me. I always put my description in the link. Instagram, Twitter, at YouTube, Comedian Rome. You can follow the podcast at No ID Podcast on Instagram. We have a Facebook like page now. I finally broke
You
down
on the book, man?
the book. I finally broke
On
down.
the book.
And that's at No ID Podcast. This will be available also on Dope Black Pods and Top Black Pods. That announcement just came out for the Top Black Pods. I'm featured on Dope Black Pods. So shout out to both of them for letting me use my platform.
Hey, round of applause.
Yeah, I ain't got no round of applause. This episode, and this is season finale. This is season 2, episode 10. We got some more stuff cooking up in the books as well too. So appreciate y'all, man, and thank y'all for checking us out.